DLRs, hey, what's going on? Mike Borders with the Mike Borders channel. Thank you for watching. We're working on our Chrysler Pacifica, and in today's video, the step-by-step process on how to properly and safely replace your main battery. Not that smaller jet ski or motorcycle size auxiliary battery, but the larger main battery or primary battery. Let's get started. DLRs, here we are in the garage. On the far end is our 2018 Chrysler Pacifica. Coming inside the driver's side door and underneath the dash, time to open up the hood. Here we are out front and looking inside the engine compartment, and coming to the right, we have a battery icon right there. We will remove this part here shortly. It feeds into our air box. We've got a fuse box here held in place by a zip tie on the left and a 10mm bolt on the right with a nut on the underside. And there is the black negative cable and terminal of our main battery. And there's the positive. And then we have a smaller jet ski size or motorcycle size auxiliary battery. And in most cases, you won't actually have to remove the auxiliary battery, but some of us will have to. However, we are going to remove this and the fuse box to alleviate having to remove the auxiliary battery. However, later in the project, if we don't have the clearance to remove the main battery, well, we will have to remove that. Now to a closer view of the negative terminal of the battery, as well as the black negative cable and connection point, and we have a 10mm nut right there, and you don't actually have to remove that nut fully, just loosen it to a point where you can then carefully pull up on that connection point and fully remove it from the negative terminal. And as you remove this, again, pull it up as straight as you can and position it to the side where it's not going to hop back up and make contact with the terminal as we continue to remove the battery. Taking a step back, we are going to direct our attention to the connection point that feeds into and secures to the upper cap or case of our air box. As shown there, you've got a gray tab. Push it down as you simultaneously pull that connection outward off the airbox fitting. Don't grab it by the hose. Get a good grip of the connection. And again, don't grab it by the hose. I'm going to push down, get a good grip of the fitting itself as I simultaneously pull that off. And I'm just going to rest it above the nipple connection. To a different camera angle and directing our attention back to the ductwork that has that battery icon on it, and you've got two little compression tabs on each side of the front portion, and carefully pull up and release them from their respective fittings. And once you release them, you can pull up, and I recommend ever so carefully applying inward pressure toward the airbox as you shift this side up and out, and that is to prevent damage to the foam seal, as shown there. Now to a close-up view, and as you see right now, with everything still installed, the main battery doesn't really have the clearance to come out. We either have to remove, again, the auxiliary battery or this fuse box. We're going to start with the fuse box, and hopefully we don't have to remove the auxiliary battery. Again, zip tie right there, 10mm bolt, and a nut on the underside. With the camera position looking at, again, the fuse box, I'm going to start with the 10mm nut and bolt and loosen and remove that. And the lower nut will fall down inside the engine compartment if you don't catch it. And just loosen up the bolt. And what I'm going to do is put my finger underneath and unscrew it by hand. And do my absolute best, again, not to drop that nut. In addition, you have a small washer. There it is. Set that aside, and take into consideration you have a line here. Don't damage that. I may be able to pull this out. However, unfortunately I can't, so I'm going to direct my attention to this tool right here. Down below in the comments and description is a link for it. And as you cut this zip tie away, don't cut anything else or damage anything else in the process. There we go. There is the zip tie removed as shown there. I'll set that aside, and I'm going to ever so carefully pull the fuse box out of the lower or underside mount. And it's connected here, so just be careful. I'm going to shift it up, and I'm just going to push this up that line as shown there. And as you can see, that is now out of the way. And we might have the clearance to pull the battery out. We will see. We will continue. And we are going to gain access to the underside 10mm nut. Two different camera angle and directing our attention to this large rectangular red casing, and we need to open it up and gain access to the inner items. And I'm going to put my left thumb here and apply upward pressure toward the air box, and the upper left hand corner is a little tab to pull up on, and I'm also going to grab it on the right hand side. And DIYers, the side closest to us are the plastic hinges. Don't damage or break those, just be careful, go slow, as shown there. And from here, let's go up to the upper left-hand corner, and that is the 10mm nut that secures the red positive cable to the positive terminal of the battery. We are going to loosen that nut up, and just like the negative cable, you will not remove that nut fully. And again, just go slow, no need to rush. With that loose, we are now going to feed down to these 10mm nuts. We are going to loosen up and remove these fully. However, first I'm going to color code the bottom connection wiring, and that is going to allow me to properly install these wires to their respective threaded stud or terminals when it comes time to reconnect everything. We'll start with the top. Followed by the bottom. And again, I've color coded with the white electrical tape the bottom wiring connection, and I'm just going to pull up and remove these. And I will shift this entire cable and fuse casing to the side. Next, let's go back up to the first 10mm nut we loosened up, and we are going to feed to the right. You've got two additional 10mm nuts that we need to remove. And DIYers, if you are watching this and you are getting intimidated by these nuts being removed from this entire module, do yourself a favor, relax. This is probably the easiest part of the project. And it's a good time to take photos if you haven't yet. And from here, you can carefully pull up and remove these connections. And the left one has two prongs, one on each side, sticking down and feeding into two little inserts. The right one only has one on the upper right. Shift those up and back. From here, coming to the right where we have a white, purple, and black connection point, and grabbing my flathead screwdriver ever so carefully, pushing down on the inner side and shifting back to a point where the connection point unlocks itself from the mount. There we go. And from here, since everything is loosened up, these specifically, I'm going to pull up this entire module up off the positive terminal in the upper left-hand corner and shift these in a way where I can pull up on the module and pull it further away from the air box and remove each of these connections. Again, black, purple, and white. Do not grab them from the wiring. That would not be good. And they're large. Go slow. Do not damage anything. There we go, and at this point, look at that. The entire module is completely removed. Now to a close-up view of the connections we just removed as shown there, and feeding to the front of the battery. Down there is a 10mm bolt. We are going to loosen up that and remove the block that creates the tension and holds the battery in place. Camera position, and again, coming inside and all the way down to that 10mm bolt. And DIYers, I have a longer extension on the ratchet and socket, and down below in the comments and description will be a link on where to purchase this. However, again, be careful as you loosen this up and fully remove it. And I believe it's fully loose. Coming in and pull up on the bolt. And it's about 3 inches long. Don't lose it. From here, coming down and grabbing a hold of the block, and here's what the block looks like, and it goes in like this underneath the battery at an angle like that. Now to the moment of truth, DIYers. Do we have the clearance to pull the battery out without removing our auxiliary battery? And I'm going to carefully shift the connections to the side or out of the way, and be careful as you shift these, don't damage or harm them. As shown there, in the center of the battery has these two little handles that come up, and just a heads up, the battery is extremely heavy. DIYers, how awesome is that? We did not have to remove the auxiliary battery. However, if you have to, scroll on above right now as well as down below in the comments and description will be a link on how to do that. and we'll probably vacuum the inner housing. Now to a closer view of the old battery compared to the new, old on the left, new on the right. In DIYers, we are installing an OEM Mopar battery. We're just not ready to put any aftermarket parts of any sort inside our vehicle. The vehicle is still too new for aftermarket parts in our opinion. And with that said, down below in the comments and description will be a few options on replacement batteries, including this one right here, OEM Mopar, as well as a few aftermarket options. And coming to a close-up view of the brand new battery, there's some info. It may or may not be helpful to you. Time to install it. Back to the engine and battery compartment or location. Time to install that new battery. After you carefully install the battery and rest it in place, just double check everything. Make sure the outer protective felt that wraps all the way around your main battery as well as your auxiliary battery is not pinched or damaged in any way, nor are any electrical wiring or connection points pinched or damaged. And if all looks good, we are now going to lower the block back in place, as shown here. This is the top part, and that's the bottom part. And we will secure it with that 3-inch long 10mm bolt. And I'm just going to carefully insert this in. Try not to drop it, that would not be good. In addition, real quick, you have little slots as shown right there, and you've got tabs down below, and you will need to align those properly. Now to the top view, DIYers, if you're having trouble getting that lower block properly positioned, as shown there, all you have to do is carefully pull up on this felt and it will fall right in place. Just like that. And without cross-threading that lower bolt, go ahead and tighten and secure it. At this point, that 3-inch long 10mm bolt is secure. DIYers, don't over-tighten it, but you want it snug. We are now going to direct our attention to the red positive terminal. Remove the cap, discard that, followed by resecuring the large positive module and case. And on the bottom side, right there is where the positive terminal will feed into and be secured to. However, I'm going to first position it in a way and open this up. We want to resecure the white, purple, and black connection points before we feed this onto the positive terminal. And at this point, as you can see, all 3 are properly secured. From here, I will carefully close this and I'm going to position the module and casing over the lower battery terminal and rest it in place. And again, as you do this, just don't pinch or damage any wiring. And it is now flush from left all the way to the right. I'm going to open up the cap and applying downward pressure. Again, double checking that the white and purple and black connection points are secured. I'm now going to resecure these connections. And again, the connection with the tab on the upper right will feed into this one. We'll do that now. Pull it up and over. And rest it in its slot there. Followed by the additional one. And again, this one has 2 prongs. Followed by securing the 10mm nuts. Do not over tighten these, but you do want them snug. And again, DIYers, as you tighten these, or as you're watching this, don't be intimidated. This step is easy. Followed by bringing the entire fuse box back up and securing the wires. And again, I color-coded the lower wire with the electrical tape. I'll pull that off now. And insert those as shown here and secure them with those nuts. And do your best to stay organized. I am installing the nuts on the exact same studs they came off of. And same thing, do not over tighten them, but you want them snug. From here, double check everything, and we are going to resecure or tighten the upper left-hand 10mm bolt, which will ultimately tighten the entire module to the terminal and battery. And as you do this, just apply downward pressure evenly on the entire module. And one last double check of everything. And if all looks good, you can carefully close the cap. We're now going to carefully shift this down, this little cable here, and I'm going to ever so carefully position it underneath the mount and resecure this with the 10mm bolt, washer and nut, and this little hook will hook onto and underneath the line as shown here. And coming up top, align the holes, and again, resecure it. It may be easier to re-zip tie this portion, however, that will be personal preference. This is not easy, a very tedious step, and it might be easier to apply tape on your fingertip for better grip of that nut as you shift it under that plate for that bolt to secure into. Followed by a 10mm wrench inside to lock that nut and secure it. Do not over tighten these. And the zip tie, and down inside here is a hole, and you can carefully shift it through and grab it from the bottom side and pull it up. And under this line here, and again, re-secure it. And as you do this, just make sure that you are not pinching this line. And position the zip tie in the center of the hook for best results. And I'm going to shift it over, as shown here, and tighten it even more. Followed by snipping the excess zip tie. To a close-up view. And again, just go slow, be careful. It's a very tedious step. Don't drop anything and lose anything. And we are going to re-secure this connection to the airbox. Push in until it clicks and is locked in place. Next, the ductwork that secures inside the airbox come in at an angle, shift it inside the box. And again, just like earlier, when we removed it, apply that inward pressure as you shift this side down to prevent damage to the foam seal. Align the tabs and press them in place. Now to a close-up of the negative terminal of the battery, we are going to remove the blue cap, set that aside, and re-secure the connection point to the terminal. And DIYers, if it sparks, that's normal, just be careful. Push it all the way down, flush, and re-tighten that 10mm nut in place. In addition, DIYers, hey, if you're wondering what that connection point is, definitely check out the link scrolling above. It's a feature of the vehicle that we personally don't like. Coming up and out of the engine compartment, DIYers, double check everything. Take a few minutes. Ensure you're not leaving any tools inside the engine compartment, any connections loose, or flashlights, etc. If all looks good, we're going to start the engine. Alright, DIYers, inside the vehicle, and two things. Number one, the engine started, and that is a success. And number two, it's very likely that the battery that you just installed was not fully charged. Who knows how long it's been sitting in the dealership or store on the shelf. So I recommend allowing the engine to run for about 15 to 20 minutes and allow the alternator to charge that battery. In addition, if you're curious when we replaced our battery odometer-wise, take a look at our mileage. You can see 76,849 miles. And to be truthfully honest, the battery had not failed yet. It was still good, but it's got almost 77,000 miles on it, and it's 6 years old. And we wanted to replace that battery before we experienced a very inconvenient repair on the side of the road. Or in other words, having the van break down at a very inconvenient time. And with that said, before we wrap the video up, down below in the comments and description will be several helpful links on this exact Pacifica, including replacing brake pads, rotors, interior lights, windshield wipers, both front and rear, as well as air conditioning and heating actuator motors inside your dash, and more. Definitely check those out from here. We hope this helps. Hey, do us a favor. Below the video, you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.